Every time someone quits, stop and think, what did you just lose? Not just their paycheck. You lost hours of work, projects that stall, extra load on your team, managers running circles trying to cover their work, and all the knowledge that they took with them, the processes, the systems, the stuff that only they knew. That's the real cost. And the truth is, that cost doesn't disappear. It lands somewhere. And most of the time, it lands with leadership. Here's the uncomfortable truth: most leaders think that turnover is normal. They treat it like a checkbox: hire, train, rinse, repeat. But let's break down what's actually happening. Someone leaves, and suddenly your workflow slows. Projects slip, your remaining team members pick up the slack and burn out. Managers spend half of their day putting out fires instead of leading. And the knowledge, the little nuances, the processes, the tricks that make your system run, they just walked out the door. It's not just annoying, it's expensive, disruptive, and exhausting. It's what turns your workforce from a high performing engine into a hamster wheel of recruitment, training, and frustration. And here's the kicker: leadership is often surprised when output drops and quotas are missed. You own this, full stop. I've seen this firsthand. I used to manage a warehouse with about 50 employees. When I started, only about 20% were regular employees, and the rest were temps from staffing agencies, rotating constantly. Every week, we were retraining new people, getting people up to speed, and trying to keep productivity afloat. It was exhausting, and the team never really clicked because no one was around long enough to build any cohesion. Over 2 years, we flipped it. We went from 20% regulars to 80% regular employees, with just 20% of temps for flexibility. The difference, it was night and day. Productivity went up because we weren't starting from scratch all the time. Managers could coach people long term and actually improve performance. And the team itself became stronger, more cohesive, more efficient, more accountable, because the same people were working together, learning from each other, and building a rhythm. Turnover wasn't just reduced, it became a competitive advantage. Here's what this can do for you: stop wasting time retraining constantly. Give managers real opportunities to develop people and build a team rhythm that boosts cohesion, efficiency, and accountability. Turnover doesn't just drop, it becomes a competitive advantage. Here's the thing: retention doesn't just happen on its own. It's not about perks, ping pong tables, or random team lunches. It happens when leadership actively fixes things that make people leave. And that's exactly what I help teams do: keep the knowledge in house, get projects across the finish line, and let managers actually lead instead of just firefighting. Turnover doesn't have to be your default if you address it the right way. You can make retention a real advantage at your company. Here's the uncomfortable truth most leaders don't want to face: people aren't leaving randomly, they're leaving because your system, processes, expectations, managers is failing them before they even get a chance to succeed. When roles aren't clear, feedback is inconsistent, and managers are constantly firefighting, employees see no path to contribute or grow. That's when they walk. And every exit doesn't just cost a paycheck, it costs knowledge, productivity, and momentum that your team, they can't afford to lose. Here's how you actually fix this. There's three concrete strategies that make retention real. Number one, build onboarding around measurable output. Forget checklists, forget orientation. Build onboarding around what the person actually needs to accomplish. Ask yourself, what should this role produce in 30, 60, and 90 days? If you can't answer that, neither can your employee. Output drives productivity. Productivity drives revenue. It doesn't matter if it's a warehouse, an office, or in the field. If you ignore it and you get slow ramp times, missed targets, and early exits. I've seen teams cut ramp times in half just by defining measurable outputs and tying onboarding directly to those outputs. Number two, then, train your managers to own performance early. Most managers don't manage, they react. By the time they step in, disengagement is already baked in. Managers control daily output, not HR, not leadership. If they aren't trained to intervene early, you'll see inconsistent results across identical roles. A real example is two teams, the same role, the same hiring profile. One hits all targets, the other misses. The difference? One coached weekly, one just reacted. The results are night and day. Number three, then, track the right metrics. If turnover rate is the only thing that you watch, you're behind. You need early indicators like time to productivity, ramp to quota percentage, early stage performance trends, and the health of your team itself. Are the people engaged? Is morale slipping? Who's quietly struggling or checked out? Turnover, it's the result, it's not the warning sign. Track early stage performance and team engagement. Fix issues before they snowball. Teams tracking both performance and engagement spot patterns in weeks instead of months, preventing costly exits before they happen. If this sounds familiar, high turnover, slow ramp, managers stretched thin, reach out. Tell me what's happening in your organization, and I'll show you exactly what's broken and what needs to be fixed. Whether it's retention, leadership, or team performance, I can give you a clear, actionable guidance that works because I've seen it work. My email is in the description below. Send me a note and let's get started. Before you go, ask yourself this. Do you really have a retention problem, or do you have a system that never gave your people a real chance to succeed? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more real world breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and like the video.